This is not a football story.
Nope.
This is real life, okay? But
Yes.
Henry Ruggs is a football player, so we'll address it. This hit me hard, being a Raider fan, being a big Henry Ruggs fan, and also given that my dad died in a drunk driving accident about 6 weeks before I turned 9. So this hits home. So this news comes on Tuesday morning. Went to bed that night. I'm going to read a couple excerpts from a book. Those people who don't know it, I wrote a book last year to my 5-year-old boys, Dear Leah Manoa, Letters from Daddy, based on my life experiences, good and bad, and mistakes I've made, so they can hopefully learn from it. I'm just going to read 2 quick excerpts before I get more into Ruggs.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, Daddy and Mama won't always be there in person with you during times where you're being challenged and going to have to make the right decision on your own. If you're out and you need a ride home, whether you've been stranded or the person you've been trusted to drive you home that night's been drinking or taking drugs or is driving recklessly in an effort to look cool, call Mommy and Daddy and we'll come and get you. I'd rather get a call from you at 3 a.m. and get out of bed and come and get you than get a call from the police telling me you've been arrested or injured in an accident or worse. Later in the book, now I got this from Herman Edwards when he was coaching the NFL. Remember, nothing good happens after midnight. Get yourself home.
Mm-hmm.
That said, temptation is a hard thing sometimes. I've told you before, Daddy has made mistakes in life and done the best to learn from those mistakes. Back in my party days, pre-marriage, 20s and 30s, we'll call it, I tried to be aware if I was at a party or out with friends and I was being responsible to drive myself home. I'd like to tell you that I always did the right thing, but I can't do that. Daddy would have beers and drove a car multiple times, especially in my 20s. I never got in trouble for it, and more importantly, never hurt anyone as a result of my selfish decisions, but that doesn't make it right. You know, I've always said I have very few regrets in life. This most certainly is one. I didn't do this all the time. I often slept on a friend's couch or took a taxi cab home or just didn't drink if I knew I was going to drive later. But it did happen from time to time before I met your mama and moved on from that lifestyle. Daddy liked to go out with his friends and drink beer. I enjoyed it, and the feeling of being around my friends is that's what our group did. All of that is okay, but the decision making when I chose to drive a car was not only wrong, it was selfish and put innocent others at risk. Now I'll get off my soapbox. So that's what Henry Ruggs did. I'm still numb. I'm numb for a lot of reasons. Number 1, a 23-year-old girl who went out that night and lived a few blocks away from the traffic scene didn't make it home. A selfish, stupid decision by Ruggs put other people at risk. Look, you want to do something stupid and harm yourself, I can't stop you from that. It's not fair to do it to somebody else, and that's what he did. He's got a 2-year-old daughter at home now. His girlfriend was in the car, and she suffered an injury. Growing up without a parent, I know what that's like, and now this poor girl's life has changed forever, and his life has changed forever. I do have prayers for Henry Ruggs. By all accounts, he was very charitable, gave a lot back to his hometown, helped in Montgomery, Alabama, give back after he left Alabama and went to the Raiders. And I hope that, he's going to pay a significant price, and his life is never going to be the same, nor should it be. Okay, this is on him. He made a massive mistake, and hopefully he gets a chance to redeem himself and do some good. We'll see. But this is on him. He's a 22-year-old that seemingly had it all, and now he has very little. Going back to football, football's trivial, but the fact is, this is a young man driving 156 miles an hour before the point of impact, blood alcohol level twice the legal limit, whose friend died in a car accident 4 or 5 years ago. Anytime Ruggs would make a big play, he'd raise number 3 in the air for his buddy. And I think one of the biggest lessons here is, by all accounts, he was a pretty good guy, loved by his teammates. Good people can make horrific decisions. It could be a one-off. I'd be skeptical if I said this, if I heard this was the only time he ever drank and drove. It's like a guy that gets a speeding ticket. Oh, I've never driven a car at accelerated speed before. That's probably not the case. Okay. It's the first time he got caught. And what just awful. I'm sick about it. I know a lot of people are. And I think what makes it just so tragic, it didn't have to happen.